So I'm down in my workshop, in my studio, on the table, and this is the book I made for Kings and Queens A&S in 2015 when we were up in Canada, up near Montreal. And so I had attempted to make a book that had been all the rage on the interwebs the prior several months, which was a book that opened in 6 ways. And I've never seen the actual extant book, so I had to go by various pictures and images of it opening that were available at the time. I came up with some ideas. Heather Rose Gordon came up with some different ideas, and I think between the two of us, we probably would have had it made right. This is a couple years old now. It's been well loved by many people. It has not held up as well as I wanted it to, but I've learned some things since then. So I'm going to show it to you now, and talk about what I want to do better, and talk about I figured out how to do an 8-way opening book, and how I could incorporate that in. So as you can see, the pages. So we open here, and these are all blank pages, and this is these pages are actually handmade paper from a mill from Period. So it opens that way as well. This is one of the problems. This got too twisty. I don't have enough sewing stations. As you can see, I only have one because I was having trouble figuring out how to put it together, and it really must have at least 3. And that's just not acceptable. So then it opens this way. Oop, sorry. It opens this way as well. It does lie flat, which is nice. Here, I'll get my pattern pieces for the next project out of the way. This is really cool. And you can see, if you look really closely, sorry about the shadow, here's one sewing station, here's the next, and here's the next. So while I did have 3 sewing stations on some of the text blocks, I didn't on all of them, which is why that cover is so floppy. This is the mill paper. It's gorgeous. I learned a lot working with this paper. It wrinkles like fabric when you're folding it if you're not careful. This is the linen cord that I used for binding in this particular instance. And then if you come back here, this paper, this is an end piece because it's between 2 of the different sections for the opening of different ways. You can see the spine here for the other section. This is actually paper that I made myself. It's very thick. You can kind of see the texture lines from where the screen lay, but that's from one of the attempts that I made at making paper. It's really thick, but it was fun. It was neat to actually be able to get to use it in a binding. So to go back to this, so now if I close it this way, we're going to be on the other side. So we've already showed you 3 ways that it opens. Here's the other. So on this one, I did try to fix the floppiness of the cover by attaching these parchment strips. This is skin. It's parchment, and then here's more of the here's more of the paper that I made in the end sheets, and then here's the leather of the cover, and then this is the nice mill paper. So it opens this way, and so you see this, it doesn't wiggle as much. That was one attempt at trying to fix it. So it opened that way, and then it opens this way, as you'd expect, and then this way. I left this one out, this one exposed. I didn't cover this up. A lot of period books didn't actually have their attachments covered. You would see the raw boards and the linen cord and whatnot. But I wanted to leave this out to show people how the cover was put on. This is why it's so floppy, because there's only the one strip of leather for either side. So there's a strip here that goes underneath the outside cover here. And that was a mistake. So, but now I know. If I were to attempt this one again, I will do it. But the other 2 ways that I figured out that I can do it is I figured out how to add in here, how to add one that opens this way, and the spine, the binding on that would be on this edge, and then the reverse, it could open this way, but the whole thing where it would pivot from this edge. And I do want to try that at some point, so it's pretty cool. So this was a fun book. One of the things that Heather did differently than I couldn't figure out how they were hiding this, the exposed tapes and the stitching, and she did, which was really awesome. She figured out that that they must have stitched into a separate little set of signatures, so tiny little strips of folded paper, and then glued it so it looked like it was an edge, because the whole thing looks like, on all four sides, looks like the edge paper. And so I would definitely try that. That was pretty cool. She also had she also put on the clasps on hers. I didn't put the clasps on mine. I'm trying to learn that. The metalworking part of bookbinding is my next big thing. So this was quite a feat for me at the time. It was the most ambitious thing that I had tried, and I'm glad I did it. And it was a good challenge, and I'd like to try it again. So, and I say hi to the owls, my little book weights. They're currently helping me to flatten some parchment that I've got in the mail. And I will, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.